Hello and welcome. My name is Alva Marie Ways. I am a certified transformational breath facilitator, and I will be your guide for the Thursday night sessions from SoulQuest online services. So the intention of this video is to prepare you for your class on Thursday night, which may be your first conscious breathing class, maybe your first transformational breath class. And there's a lot of information that is kind of best heard before class, so we decided to make this video for you. So conscious breathwork has the ability to energize the physical, help uplift the emotional, clear the mental, and make space for a joyful experience of our spiritual nature. This is true with all breathwork. So I'd like to really introduce you to transformational breathwork, which is the modality in which I was trained and certified in, and have spent the better half of a decade traveling and teaching. Basically, we're going to start with the physical. The physical level of transformational breathwork is learning how to breathe properly. So you're going to be able to really get to know yourself in these sessions. And you can start before you even come to class. Basically we have a primary breathing muscle called the diaphragm. And you can Google this and Google proper breathing and belly breathing and the importance of it. And as opposed to chest breathing, which is kind of the pattern that most adults get stuck in. So we all have this breath pattern, and it is completely unique to us and our experiences. So I'm going to be breathing differently than my husband, and my husband is going to be breathing differently than his son, and his son is going to be breathing differently than the classmate next to him. And we just, in our sessions, become aware of this fact. So then we have the ability to take our breath pattern that we come into class with and begin to open, expand, and release those restrictions that are keeping our breath small or keeping it from entering all parts of the body as we would like it to. Because we want to revitalize the physical. And, the average person is breathing 12 times a minute. That's like just enough to stay alive, right? So breathing being part of the autonomic nervous system, it can be done without our conscious intent. And when the body is breathing us, it's busy doing a lot of other things. So it's not going to be, really spending all of its energy breathing us. So 12 times a minute will keep us alive, no problem. But I'm kind of in the business of thriving, and I know you are too. So we're going to spend from 7 to 9 working on making that, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursdays, making that breath connection, taking the conscious control. Breathing is one involuntary metabolic function that becomes voluntary the moment we choose to take the reins. This begins to explain why transformational breathing ultimately leads to the experience of co-creating our lives consciously, instead of being the result of random thoughts and events. We can choose to be at the mercy of life, or we can choose to master it. And so the first step of that is learning how we breathe. People have told me that after coming to class, they're able to run longer distances. The exercise is getting easier. And the fatigue they feel at the end of the night after class isn't there. So there's a lot to experience. And so when I say, well, let's look at how we're breathing, let's just go ahead and look at how we're breathing. Something you would like to do before class, for sure. It'll help you get to those non-ordinary states of awareness that transformational breathwork can bring us to. So you're going to want to find a space, and you're going to want to set this space up before class. Find a spot where you're comfortable. I like to do 45 degrees angle. You can have the knees bent, the knees flat. Chances are you'll do both in your session. Chin not too far to the chest. Also neck not too exposed. Just a nice, even flow, right? You can have a blanket, some pillows, some water. And you're going to be breathing into the belly area. If this is new to you, then it's a really good thing you're here. Because this is the way we were born to breathe. Inhale, exhale. So we're not going to be forcing our exhale. We're not going to be holding. We're not going to be breathing in and holding. We're just going to be breathing in and out. Now maybe you are someone who is breathing like this. Now I encourage you to look into a mirror or get yourself on a camera like this, and this is going to help you very quickly get to know how you are relating to yourself and the way in which you breathe, okay? So perhaps maybe even the chest is coming up first and then the belly. That is not the way we were born to breathe. So if this is what you're doing, then it's good that you're here. Because you have the opportunity to restructure your entire breath pattern in these sessions. So we want to bring it back down, right? We want to bring it back here. We want to get rooted, grounded in our body. You know, if we're doing this all day, there's a chance we have a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. We may feel loopy or disconnected or airheaded. And that's because all of our oxygen, all of our prana is all in our higher chakra areas. It's here, it's here. This is, you know, the breath pattern of someone who's in stress and danger. You know, tight belly, moving here. Should be running from a lion or something if we're breathing like this. But these are different patterns we get stuck in. So, you know, we're just, transformational breath work allows us to come in, restructure. But maybe that's not your pattern at all. Maybe it's just here. And without much movement here. This is going to definitely mean that you are a grounded individual, really good at taking care of yourself. You feel safe in your body. But what about up here? What if there's no movement here? Then it would be safe to say that perhaps you have a lot of love to give and receive that is not being experienced in this life experience, right? So the goal is to just begin to become aware and then begin to open and expand from where you are into a flowing, healthy breath. Now, perhaps you already have a flowing, healthy breath you've just found out from this experience. Then that's great. That means that you're going to quickly and easily move into the second level of transformational breathwork, which is the emotional and the mental. So when we begin to breathe properly and get into those spaces that have been lacking energy, and we are able to start using the circular pattern, then what we're doing is we're putting a high vibration into a space. And that means that lower, denser vibrations will begin to rise to meet that higher vibration. This is called the law of entrainment, and it goes for like grandfather clocks. Like when you put one in the room, eventually they all start going together. So here we're putting in a circular breath. That's why we encourage you to reduce any pauses to make a closed circuit breath. Focused inhale, relaxed exhale into the body, and then we will begin to rise up what is low and dense, and shall I say negative energies, emotions that are hiding in the body. You know, we do this breath work through the mouth, which we are not breathing through the mouth outside of this class. Nose breathing is the best way to breathe. But for this session, we want to open the mouth, breathe in, relax, and allow the breath to move. We want to enter into a space of relaxation. And with an open mouth, we're able to become aware that perhaps our mouth and jaw has been clenching for a very long time. We tend to hold a lot of resentment in our jaw. This is all about expression. Here we've got anger, compassion. Here, solar plexus, a lot of control here, but also surrender. Fear hides under the ribs, shuts down the diaphragm. We've got guilt, shame, other low, negative, vibrating energies that tend to hang out in the lower abdomen. So when we begin breathing properly, continually, circular pattern, we begin to rise up, right? We're rising up, and we're going to feel it. We're going to feel tingling in our hands and our feet, old injuries. We may feel very hot, very cold. And these are all signs that it's working. We may feel lightheaded, which is not a bad thing in this session at all. May have a lot of yawning. It may take the first 15 minutes just to transition from the space you were in before you came to class into your breathing session. So the first half hour of class is really for checking in, greeting the new people, answering any questions that you have. And, if you've watched this video and you've done some self-diagnosing on your breath pattern, then you can come to class with questions and I can give you tips on how to open and expand on that pattern. So around 7:30 Eastern Standard Time is when the session starts. I have a different playlist every week, and I just try to tune in to what the group is needing. And we will be breathing from 7:30 to 8:30. Sometimes we'll end early depending on the energy of the group, but you can always be expected to be done by 8:30. And then we'll have the remaining half hour to integrate, to ask questions, to share our experience. It's a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing you there. And what happens is that in the last half hour to 15 minutes, or sometimes even the last 5 minutes, that joyful, direct experience of our spiritual nature is present. And it just takes time to transition, right? And to start physically breathing, okay, and start to feel the elevation. Continue the breathing through the emotions. We use sound sometimes. You can make some sounds. Ah. You can sometimes put your hands together and breathe. We want to get through the layers, and then that spiritual nature, that direct and joyful experience of the source of all that is, becomes very present. Conscious breathing helps us attune to the space in which that is sacred inside of us becomes into our awareness, right? Because we live in this super dense world, and it's just very, very helpful that we have conscious breathing to assist us to get to those heights, to get to those spaces, to get to those experiences, the mystical nature, the non-ordinary states of awareness. We don't always have an external substance to use, a plant or something like that, to go ahead and use to get us to those places which we so need to be in. So we have conscious breathing. It's there and it's for us, and it's almost as if it's some big cosmic joke that what we've been searching for all along has just been hiding at the tip of our nose. Just under the tip of our nose. So it's a fun experience. I look forward to it every week. We have new people coming in every week. We have people who have been, with us since the beginning. It has been an honor to be your online facilitator for the last year for SoulQuest online services. Although this modality was never taught online, I had never imagined in 1,000 years I would be teaching online. The coronavirus pandemic made it necessary for us as a foundation, the Transformational Breathwork Foundation, to bring our work online. And in doing so, we have been able to reach a lot of people that we weren't able to reach before on such a consistent basis, because always having a venue, always having a place that you needed to go to breathe, always having our trainings done, in a space where everyone from around the world would have to come to this one space. So now we're able to do it online. However, in person is always best. This is definitely a close second for getting your online transformational breathwork experience. It's definitely a great place to start, and it's a great service to have. I have a lot more information about the foundation and what we offer, so I look forward to being there for you if you have questions about that. And until Thursday night, just go ahead and do your research, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you.